Mic check. Mic check. Should there be like a designated mic?
That we just pass around?
No, is there like a U mic and is there like a protocol for podcasts? Like, oh, I get this mic because I sound better. Like, you think Joe Rogan has a different mic than the other niggas in his shit?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he buys.
You think
his own.
so?
Yeah. You think he buys the like premium stuff all the way around?
I don't know. But that's right.
I
Like, do you have the same equipment as all these other? Because I would assume I bet you they do.
Oh,
Because you probably get it at cost, a better cost if you buy the same in a bundle.
Goes for everybody.
All right, don't question. Well, we figured out the answer.
I mean, it could be,
But we figured out the answer.
Yeah.
Good question. What do we want it to say at the bottom of the logo? Good morning, motherfuckers.
Good morning.
Right now, it looks like it says step 4 Belzings.
Okay.
So step 4. Or it could say nothing and it could just say B to Z. Or it could say podcast.
We do podcasts.
Podcast, radio show.
Yeah, if we're not looking for something.
Are we on more platforms and podcasts? Are we a radio station as well? Can you tune in to fucking iHeartRadio and find us?
Not yet. But perhaps. You're right.
Right. I don't know though. So, because I definitely feel like this is a radio voice.
Yeah. Oh, it's smooth like butter. Yeah. I got a good one since we were just talking about it already.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about tattooing outside. What is something you do if you tattoo outside? How do you ensure top level of hygiene? If
I'm tattooing outside
in an environment.
Yeah. If I'm tattooing outside,
and just because I'm curious, because we brought it up this morning.
Well, obviously you got to have all your sanitary stuff: safe needles, a setup, gloves. But I guess it would be more like my concern specifically would be like things landing on it, like flies landing on it. The elements, the sun. Obviously you need to have shade. You can't be tattooing in the sun, direct sunlight. Or you could, but it's just not wise. Sharps containers, all of that. You could do it. All you need is a portable battery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On one of those dildo machines. You feel me?
Yeah.
Or you could just use a
battery. That's your icebreaker.
Yeah.
For today, I wanted to.
Yeah.
You said jump right into it. I'm going to ease you into it a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you think? I'm going to start hitting some harder ones. Do you think the other artists?
I do. I actually do. I still feel like I got a lot to learn, but I do feel like the industry is in need of a teacher like myself. You feel me? Because I keep that shit real about tradition, about why this shit should be sacred. And I don't know, like a lot of tattooers don't show humility and have a very high ego. There's a lot of ego in this industry. So I feel like creating artists is not necessarily what you should do. I feel like you should harness an artist and then help them develop the skill of tattooing. You know, it's a technique, and that's what you should help. That's what an apprentice should be. Portions of it. And there's a lot to an apprenticeship. Yes, obviously you should learn how to draw and become a better artist and get more dynamic with your stuff. But like right now, I feel like the industry needs people who are not afraid to say anything, not necessarily looking to have this super spotlight. Like, I'm not out here for a spotlight. I'm not on this podcast to, you know, glorify my successes in any way. You know, I'm here just to provide something neutral, you know what I mean? And persuasive in a way, which I think, you know, I don't want to shape someone's thought. I want to provide an argument for the thought and develop a new way of thinking, you know? And that's what tattooers need now. There's so many people just willing to pull from the trade, and that shit is blasphemy.
We touched on it a little bit last time about how you got your start. Was there any story that sticks out to you that was your growth, or you becoming? I see you smiling. So you got something for me.
Oh man, there's a lot of stories. That's what tattooings are. Tattooing is stories, you know, stories of you kind of getting your ass kicked or somebody just shitting on you mentally, and then growing and learning from it and understanding later. I mean, there's many stories. One of the earlier stories is like when I first was apprenticing and I thought I was the shit, and I was a carpenter at the time. And I was working my ass off, and I came into work and I was complaining. And one of the artists, his name is Steve García, ink cap, from Empire Tattoo Riverside. And he didn't, yeah, he was always tough on me because he thought I had it too easy, you know, all of that type of shit. And respect to him, you know, he was one of the ones that provided the pressure for me to have a great apprenticeship. You know, it's those motherfuckers who applied the pressure and were kind of assholes are the ones that I remember a little bit. He never slid on he wasn't an asshole, you know, he never did anything crazy, but he was an asshole, you know what I'm saying? But he told me, he was like, man, you over here fucking dirty, you know, swinging a hammer. He's like, look at you, you know? He's like, look at you. And I'm like, what you mean? He's like, I'm over here using my God-given talent, you know, making money over here, just enjoying myself. And that shit hit hard. And I was like, fuck. Like, damn, like I do have a God-given talent, but I chose to go over here and swing a hammer. Yeah. You know, which pretty much anybody could do, you know what I mean? But that was a story. That was one where I was just like, damn, like I really need to use my God-given talent to, you know, set the path of my living, you know what I mean, of my existence, to plot my journey or to, accept who it is that I am, you know what I mean, as an artist and shit like that, and not try and stray away from that. So that was dope, you know. I'm using my God-given talent. I ain't never heard nobody say no shit like that. And it wasn't like, like some prolific quote or whatever. But at the time, that shit hit for me because it provided motivation at the time to make me hate him a little bit for saying that shit to me. Like, man, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, because I still got to, like, clean, mop, do the tubes, you know, all of that shit. And he over here talking shit. And I'm going to go get lunch. And I really can't say nothing. You know, so it's just like, man, like, all right, you right. You know, but salty, like, you know, yeah.
How old were you?
Ooh. I was what, 25?
Okay.
Yeah, like 25. Yep.
Now, fast forward to nowadays, how have you kept up? How have you kept up with the different industry trends?
By not being trendy. Fuck that trendy shit. I'm out here doing sometimes what I want to do, sometimes their ideas and what they want to do. A little bit of both. I call it gumbo. You feel me? I'm taking the elements from everything, all kind of different spices. We throwing it in a pot, and the shit's gotta taste fire. You know, it's gotta look fire. So, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Do you now off that? Have you ever had where the gumbo didn't sit right? You ever had a crazy bad client or a crazy customer review?
You know, the reason I even think I'm a little bit decent at tattooing today is because of my imperfections. Like I ain't had a mistake, or my tattoos don't look beat up or rough, or, you know, and knock on wood for the mistake come. But I haven't had, obviously I'm kind of never satisfied with my designs. Like, you know, I'm an artist. Like, I have an idea of what I want it to look like. And I feel like I rarely get it to the level of my eye or expertise or my palette of fucking knowledge, artistic knowledge. But I don't think I suck anymore. And that's cool. You feel me?
What are your weaknesses right now? If you could pull out any weaknesses you have, what are they?
My weaknesses right now are color realism. Color realism. Like that shit is ridiculous, bro. Like, and I could put in some color, like pretty damn good. I know on my cards it says black and gray and stuff like that, but that was kind of like to niche myself at a time when I needed to provide for my kids and stuff like that. So that wasn't necessarily 100% true to who it is. That was like a little bit of business move, you know, being at Elizabeth Street and around all those artists. I had to find my own lane, and that's what that was about. But I like some color. When it comes to realism, color realism, and those shades, those light shades on the cheek, with the human tones, with the skin-like skin tones to create skin tones on skin tone, you know, like that shit is crazy to me. The stipple whipping and the dot work by what's his name, Rostin or Mr. Rostin or some shit like that. That shit is crazy. That's black and gray work. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. That human realism, that color realism shit. They're doing human tones, like Pooch's style. Even like Ben Ochoa's style. He's fucking nuts. Nico Hurtado, just for, you know, even though I feel like his stuff ain't as sharp as it used to be, just because he's like more business than he is tattooer, I think, at this point, which I don't know. And don't take that shit personal. Let that shit fucking push you, my nigga. Don't get mad at me. But yeah, who else is dope about that shit? Steve.
Well, what are your strongest points now? Still the black and gray? Is that you think you sell the both sides?
I don't know. Like, my color's pretty cold, bro. Like,
good.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. But it's good in certain. It's good in certain circumstances, then it's trash in others. You know what I mean? It's good in certain circumstances, and it's trash in others.
How so?
Like,
explain the trash to me.
If you're asking me to make it realistic and then put color in it, then that's a little bit weird. I'm like, okay, you know, it's like if you were to say, give me a black woman in a Garden of Eden in full color saturation, like I'm gonna struggle with that piece. Like, I'll be able to create a project and a plan to execute it, but it is definitely something that I would have to research and spend a lot of time on, and try before I do it in skin. You know what I mean? I'd have to do it on paper. I'd have to do some renderings. I'd have to color in that same tone for a little bit, and then I would try at it. And then probably I would do the first one on a homie for free, like straight up, and then I would go from there.
Switch gears a little bit, because not only are you an artist, you're You're a business owner.
I'm a business owner. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I've always struggled with that one. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just me. You know what I mean? And I'm not a braggadocious motherfucker. I know some motherfuckers be like, I opened my first business. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You know, that's not necessarily me. I'm just happy I got a place to provide for my kids. And I feel like I'm blessed for the opportunity to tattoo. And I know how quickly life changes. So don't get braggadocious. I feel like if you put your blessings out there like that sometimes, then the world has a way of taking them from you as well. Yeah.
Have now again, this is business owner aspect. Do you have a target customer, or is it just tattoo?
I try and make sure that anybody could get tattooed by me. If you cool though, like, man, like, and that sounds like he thinks he's fucking cool or better than, and it's not on that tattoo type of cool. You could be a weirdo and just have like, but embracing your weirdo-ness. You feel me? Like, yeah, I'm a weirdo. I fucking stand on that. I do weirdo shit. Maybe you dress funny or you talk funny or you could be an outcast in some way. Then man, come get tattooed. Come get tattooed. I could give it. As long as you cool, you show up clean, you're respectful, in the time that we're sharing, then we good. And then when you leave, you can go be a fucking whatever it is that you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, this shit for everybody. This shit is for everybody. As long as you cool though, like, all of that tough gangbang shit, I try not to fuck with too many of them motherfuckers, man. Like, I know niggas too, and they probably harder than you and all of that other shit, But I just don't like that energy anymore. I used to own a studio and like I just got tired of that braggadocious, egotistical mentality. Yeah. Even though I do like the style of tattoos of gangsters, I just don't like the persona. I enjoy the OGs rather than these youngsters. You feel me? Somebody who's calmed down and turned up rather than fucking a nigga like they head on a swivel all the time. They doing burpees in here. Don't do burpees in here.
Yeah.
Like have some goddamn manners. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Good.
Fucking speed. Like, people are famous on the internet for doing burpees everywhere. Like, so what? So what? We are just so amused by so much dumb shit. Like, what the fuck? And this, I'm a victim too. I don't know if I'm a victim or I'm a fan. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll find myself watching a nigga do some burpees too in some random ass park, like feeling like I did a set. What is that? What the fuck is that? Why is that one of the things that's entertaining? That's weird to me, man. Like, anyways, maybe it's because I wish I was fitter, so I'll see that shit. But I know fit motherfuckers probably see that shit too and be like, "Oh, shit, hitting the burpees, huh?" Like, it's crazy. Like, gangbang culture, prison culture has such an influence upon our lives. Being a bad boy has such an influence upon our lives. And that shit, like, it really is kind of fucking stupid if you think about it. Like, yeah. I mean, if you're good at it, all right, all praise to you. Like, Tony Montana, that shit, be the man, that's cool. Invite me to the parties I want to go. But, like, this like the NFL. You feel me? Like, only a certain amount of motherfuckers is really going to make it to that team.
Only a certain percentage,
like, you can't just step up to my boss level. Like,
no.
Motherfuckers get a pound of weed and then 1 week later, they the Tony Montana. You rapper the cuz, he doing it big now.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, he in a Bugler Saber. Like, they get like, what you talking about?
All right, so after that cute little interruption,
Yeah, that was the manager of the location that we rent at. I had a little fucking
Where
pest
do you
control
want
problem.
to shout them out right now?
Yeah, that's Alva Dental, right off of Indiana and Tyler. They work on my teeth. The doctors are pretty cool. Shout out to them. Not pretty cool. They are cool. You know, they let me be up in here, which I really appreciate. And it's really nice. It's really nice. They do a good job. They're diligent with their work. I know pretty much everybody up in here. They're like family at this point.
From my experience with your studio, it's so private. It's on the second floor. It's towards the back of the building. Mm-hmm. It's private, and you get a nice shot of the 91 freeway, and it's fun to stare at. I get lost staring at the traffic sometimes. So I like where your spot's at right now.
Everybody loves the traffic. Everybody loves the traffic.
Yeah.
You know?
Watching it, not being in it. Watching
exactly.
it better. Hell yeah, I'll watch it all day.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Real. Yeah.
What future do you see as a business owner and an artist?
As a business owner, as an artist, I have things that I need to check off. Some personal, some business. Personal, I just really want to develop a heavier hand and really get my artistry down to where everything I do is fucking dope coming from my hand. That would be a personal thing. I would like to tattoo some individuals that spend more time with clients and individuals that can like teach me cool things and have good conversation. That would be dope if I could have that in my future, like stars. You know, I would like for some of my homies that I used to work with, like in the film industry, to get some tattoos now and come to check me out. You feel me? Hey, motherfuckers, come check me out. God damn it. But I'm in Riverside, so they don't want to come out here, that's that bullshit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Come out here. Fuck. Yeah. What else do I want to do? Business-wise, I want to open up doors. You know, I want to have a few artists. I want my son to be able to tattoo. I would like all my kids to be able to pick up the craft and learn how to tattoo in case they ever need employment. Like, you know, this is our fallback within my family. Our fallback is tattooing, you know, and I hope all of them will harness the craft of tattooing. You know, you don't necessarily have to be a tattoo artist, but you do have to, you know the family business. Yeah.
How you feeling about this? I asked you enough questions yet?
Yeah. I mean, I feel good. You feel good?
You're not sick of talking about yourself yet?
Nah, man. I don't necessarily enjoy it.
No, I know. I see.
Yeah.
I think we're both. This is first real episode. I think we're both getting the jitters out.
Yeah, I don't necessarily enjoy it.
I would like to start. We're gonna do a roundup that we talked about every episode. And I thought of a few things, but based off what you touched on, do you think today's roundup focus on leadership and how
today's roundup?
Yeah, how to be successful, or just how to be successful in general.
I get to choose it.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Roundup. My roundup for this first podcast interview of myself would be, show love. Show love to people out there. You know, get you a little protege and put somebody on. You know, put somebody on to something that you're doing. Develop a little mini you. Help somebody. That's my advice or my little roundup. Help somebody today. Put somebody on. And that doesn't mean give a fucking bum $1. You feel me? I'm talking about somebody who's actually doing something. Call him, help him out in some way. That's my roundup. Does that qualify as a roundup?
I think so. I stand behind that 100%. You know, I can name off the top of my head people I get different services from, whether it be tattoo artist work, massage therapy work. I try to treat everyone how I would want to be treated in that same position. That you also want to throw a quote out there.
Quotes.
Yeah, so I found a quote. And I think it kind of fits. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it says, "I awoke this morning with devout thanksgiving for my friends, the old and the new." Do you think that kind of plays into our roundup?
I gotta hear it one more time.
I woke this morning with devout thanksgiving for my friends, the old and the new. Is that
Yeah, man.
Does that go along with showing
Yeah.
love?
Yeah, man.
I felt like that. Yeah,
Straight up. Yeah, you should wake up and appreciate the people around you, because they're the ones that control the narrative, how people feel about you, how you were perceived. You know, like everybody's, I don't worry about what people think, but you still want to be seen as a good person. You know, but that's in the eyes of man. You know, in the eyes of the Lord or whatever it is. But we kind of do define whether you're a piece of shit or not. So respect that. Respect that.
I feel that.
Right?
Yeah, perfect way to put it. So yeah, that's as of right now. That's all I got for you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Man, anytime. I'll be back.
That's my co-host and interviewee today, Brandon May. This is Zach Batista signing off.
Oh, one more thing. I want to shout him out. Check me out at bmayink, at bmayink. You can book a tattoo appointment at www.bmayinkstudios.com. Just click the appointment tab and set something up, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I appreciate you guys this time. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. All right, everybody have a good day.